I'm standing over here at the barn, looking over, obviously, at the garage side of the house. And these are the pastures. We call that pasture 1. Way back there in the back, we call that pasture 2. This was the outdoor riding arena, and it's now been cleared and ready for the arena roof to be put on it so we can ride under roof when it rains and when it's hot. And the materials showed up for that a couple days ago, so you'll see stuff laying around on that pad back there. We'll get to there later. But so this is the new fence. You can tell it's all yellow, new gate. That's our water trailer. The old fence for this pasture used to be just to the right of Vicky there, on that, just to the right of that yellow dirt. And so we moved it up the hill a little ways to give us more room between the new arena building and the fence, partly for construction, but partly just to open the space up a little bit. So all the old fence has been replaced with new fence. Some of the old fence is still in place, and I'll show you that. But so this is pasture 1. There's the house, obviously. There's my little weather station. Hope you're checking rain-wise. You can see what the temperature is at Joyful Noise Farm. So this is fence. They call that a 5-6-7 post. That means it's 5 to 6 inches in diameter, 7 feet long, and they were pounded into the ground with a skid steer with a pounder on it. It's just a giant hammer, and it just hammers it into the ground. So that's, you know, no drilling, no dirt. You can see how tight it just pounds it right into the ground, into the earth. So so this is the new board. Those are 1 by 6, or actually 1 1/8 or 1 1/4 by 6 inches. So it's heavy board, and it's all screwed together, which makes repairs and changes a lot easier, but also it's just so much stronger over time. So this will all get painted black. And so from where I'm standing, looking up to the top there by those trees, is about 200 feet of fence. Turns, goes up there by those palm trees, and then comes down, and there's an alleyway over there, which I'm gonna show you a little bit later in some video. But this is the old fence, the old pasture fence. It came around here. And so this is what I replaced, was this thing. And so this is on the pool side, obviously. So this fence is coming out probably tomorrow. And so what that does is it actually opens up the backyard a little bit. And as we get up here, though, you'll see I'm gonna have a way to ride a horse or take the gator and come up this way. You can see we've got an alleyway. There's the back of the house. See the layout marking still on there because we just did this fence about 4 or 5 days ago. So as I get up on the top here, we're looking back towards the arena and the barn back there over my horse trailer. We haven't had rain in I don't know how long, and so the pastures are, well, they're green, but they're really dry. And so this old fence is coming out up to this little hole I cut in it. And the reason I cut this hole in it is me and Billy down the street blazed a bunch of trail That goes all the way out down the side of the property out to Polo Lane. And actually, you get up into the woods up in that way, you can ride all the way out to another road. But the idea behind moving this fence in is now we've got a way to get around the pastures without going in them. So if I have to do work up here, I can take the gator. I can ride a horse up here. So this old black fence here at the top is gonna stay. I'm gonna leave this here just as a border. So I'm at the top of pasture 1. Here comes Janie. She's had it for the day. She's pretty tired. I am too. You're looking down there on what will be the arena. But this alleyway up in the top of the pastures, so this used to all just be pasture I'm walking in. An alleyway. So there's the new alleyway that goes down between the two pastures. That's about 10, well, no, that's about 5 feet wider than it used to be. And so these are realigned a little bit. I'll show you a neat feature down there that the horses drink out of. So this is pasture 2. So we're at the top of the hill of our property. There's the house way over there to the left in the barn. That's where the arena will go, new roof go. So all this fence is new, and I dropped it down up out of these trees. So that's the old fence, obviously. So this is the new little barn we built back here for protection. So this fence, this pasture fence, kind of dies out here. Haven't quite finished that part yet, but that's a little barn I built back up here, the top corner of the property. We're at the top now, looking all the way down towards all the other stuff. We built this kind of corral thing that comes off of the barn in case we want to, you know, just sequester a horse up here, keep it off the grass, keep its feet dry.
Primarily a dry lot for a horse that can't graze and can't get its feet wet. I love these corners.
So there's the far side of the property. We built that part of the fence today. So I'm gonna walk down here, go down this alleyway. So I don't know, there's probably a couple thousand feet of fence out here we've built. These posts are 8 feet apart. The boards are 16 feet long. Like I said, we screw them in place. So I'm at the top of the property coming down. There used to be a center aisleway here, and this is the new one. Much wider. I could actually drive the truck and a trailer up here if I had to bring up loads of dirt or grass seed, or just a lot easier to maneuver up here. It was a problem before. We used to just put buckets on the fence, come out here 2-3 times a day and fill them, refresh them. And now I installed these things called a drinking post. These things are buried in the ground and the plumbing's down there. Horse comes up there, sticks his nose in there, pushes his nose on that little flapper, starts drinking water. Water's coming up, filling this bowl. They drink it faster than it can fill. And then when they're done, that drains out whatever's left. You can see it slowly drain down. It takes about 20 seconds. That's about the size of a, I think it's a 10-inch PVC pipe, but it's about the size of a medium-sized dog bowl. And that's just draining out. And that way, whenever they drink, the water comes up and it's fresh. And it's cool because it comes from underground. And here in the summer, you know, these buckets of water we had out here, they'd get to be awful. They were just hot and grow algae, and the horses wouldn't drink it. So this is the bottom of pasture 2, the old fence. And we just built all this new stuff today. You can see these curves. They were a challenge to build because you had to pull the boards with a tractor and a winch to bend them. And so all this old black fence will come out, and you can see, you know, I've added a bunch of pasture down here, made that wider. This is a steel gate called a Buckley gate. It just hinges off that one side, cantilevers out. You can ride up here in your horse, push that open. Real easy to do on the horseback, which is kind of important. There goes Max. There's the arena, or what is about to be. And this is what used to be, we call pasture 3. It's now a construction yard. And Morton Buildings, who is putting up the roof for the arena, they brought 4 flatbed trucks and dropped off all the materials for the building except the trusses and the roofing material the other day. There's a pile of posts we use for fencing. That's a rock that we will use in foundation holes in a couple of weeks when they start digging those. There's my friend's mini excavator back there. I drive it sometimes. This is all siding and lumber for the side walls. There's big holes all over the sides. It's like just columns, and the rest is wide open so the air blows through it. It's basically just a roof over the top of an arena. It's 80 by 140. So this is a lot of the material that they're using for the construction, which will start in a couple weeks. And there's my buddy Skidster. I drive that sometimes too. So this pad, in order to get it level, here, I'll try to hold the camera. You know, this property slopes from uphill all the way down to there. So the pad had to be built up to make it level. And it took a lot more material than I would have guessed. So over here on this corner, I don't know, it's probably 8-9 feet. They had to add to get this corner up to grade for level. And you can see as I'm walking down here to the bottom of it, that's a whole lot of material. And it's basically, in Florida they call this dirt. I don't know. I guess it is. Looks like sand to me. But that's what they use. And it's pretty hard, actually. So that's where the building will be built. When the building's all done, I'll reclaim that land back there, and I'll build fence kind of around there, and I'll have a small third pasture that I can use. But we're all done, so now I can ride all the way around the property. Oops, sorry about the finger. I can ride all the way around the property on horseback because we brought the fence in from the tree line a little bit, which will really add a lot to, you know, not having to trailer up and go somewhere just to do a little quick trail ride. This is our property line. If you see the pink flags on that stake over there. So our property line is, 40, 50 feet off of the building. Woods, neighbors through those woods, not far. That little house there is where our well and pump and pressure tank is. I built that little structure over it. Tried to make it look like that and that. Pretty close. Not bad. These are all implements that my friend uses on his skid steer and on his excavator to, that's the post pounder. You gotta see this thing. This straps on the front of his skid steer. It's appropriately named. And that thing just has a giant weight in there, and it lifts it up to the top and drops it, and it just, well, hammers on that post. And pretty effective. It's a lot better than digging holes and having big piles of dirt and having to put in concrete and all that other nonsense. That's where the horse's dinner goes after they're done with it. We haul that off. And just for fun, take you over here and meet my best friend, Trigger. Hey, Trigger. Say hi to the folks. Yeah, good boy. Sorry I don't have any food for you. Huh? Sorry I don't have any food for you. Did you already finish your hay? Yeah, you did. My buddy. Yeah. You're a good boy. You're a good old horse. So that's kind of it. Hope you enjoy the tour. Hope to see you out here at Joyful Noise Farm someday. Come after that roof's built and you can ride under the arena, under the roof. All right, peace. Stay healthy.